CNY music now, not just then a few minutes ago. Beauty of Sunday Night Live studio sessions here. We got another guest. My friend Charles is our weekly host. I'm the producer here, and Charles, why don't you go ahead and introduce our guest for the night?
Oh, hey, folks, we have the wonderful pleasure of, being entertained this evening by Giovanina Bucci. And we're pretty pumped up about this. This woman has been all over the place, so I think we're going to get a lot of cross-sections of all sorts of styles of music. And, we were talking about food and stuff earlier, so I think we're in for a big treat here, Vinny.
Yeah,
without a doubt. We've been lucky so far, but once again, we get to luck out and just hang out here on a Sunday night and, be entertained by incredible musicians, man.
Yeah, there's not much better thing you can do on a Sunday evening, with some live music and conversation. It's been a time where we've probably been lacking both, and we're kind of getting through it finally. But it's good to have our weekly kind of like checkup on everybody, and especially me and Charles.
Yes.
We kind of see how the last 7 days went between seeing each other. So. But anyways, it's definitely good to have you in the studio. You were born and raised in Plattsburgh.
Yes. But
we'll kind of tell your story about where you went from there and how you got here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks so much for having me. This is a real treat.
For sure.
So I was born and raised in Plattsburgh, and then I ventured to Ithaca College for my undergrad. And soon after that, I graduated and then ventured to Ireland for a few months and then moved to St. Thomas. I was only supposed to be there for 6 months, but 2 more years went by, as it happens.
There are many people that have told a similar story, about St.
All of a
Thomas.
sudden, the ocean's like, no, girls, stay. So.
We got to get into some of those stories at some point, I think, Vinny, because.
She described them as wild and crazy, I think was, I might be paraphrasing.
Your mom and dad, won't be able to.
I got to figure out which ones are radio appropriate.
That's right.
Radio appropriate.
Yeah, we can work that out.
And then, we'll get more when you write your memoirs,
That's right.
Just like mom and dad. So, mom and dad, if you're listening, we'll try and keep it clean for you.
Got to save some for the book you got to write one day about all those stories,
Yes.
But you were in your early 20s, basically down living in the islands with your friends, and then, kind of long story short, made your way to Burlington, Vermont.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, via Flagstaff, Arizona. So I went to Flag, and then I actually moved back to Plattsburgh to do my master's degree. I'm a part-time school psychologist.
Oh, cool.
So I do that a couple days a week with
Elementary
elementary kids.
She's analyzing us as we speak.
Definitely, You're reading me like a book.
Both
it's the first thing I do when I meet people.
Well, music-wise, you said you've been able to kind of take advantage of the time during the pandemic to kind of write some new music and maybe throw out some old music, kind of swap new music with old music type of thing,
Yeah, it was kind of interesting because the pandemic hit, and I was originally scheduled to record this album in April of 2020, and obviously that got scratched. And I kind of had a really interesting reaction when the pandemic lockdown first happened. I think I was so frustrated and mad like everybody else in the situation that I kind of set my guitar aside for the first time I think in my life since I picked it up. I was like a little bit resentful towards it, I'm really bummed and I don't know how to pour this energy into anything at the moment. But thankfully that time passed, and I had been working with my producer, Ryan Montbleu, produced this record for me, which is the first time that I worked with a producer, and we had been workshopping tunes for like a year and a half prior to any sort of studio thing that was scheduled to happen. So we were workshopping a bunch, and once the pandemic hit, I started doing a little more writing. So 3 songs ended up on the album that was eventually recorded in September of 2020. So and that just came out July 2nd. It's called Storytellers.
Cool. Wow.
Yeah.
We'll definitely hear a few from that album tonight, I'm sure. Why don't you start with one of those 3, I guess, to kick the show off tonight?
Sure.
Yeah, what do you feel like doing?
I'm going to do a tune called 30 Miles.
30 Miles.
Yeah. And
What's the story behind that one? You want to wait
30
until
miles,
after?
You want me to tell you what it's about before I sing it, or do you want me to sing it and then?
No, leave that to you.
Yeah, leave that up to you. Come on. That's part of the spontaneity of the show.
All right. Well, I'll tell you.
That was the hard question we were talking about earlier.
Is that the hardest question of the night?
Yeah. I hope
Oh no,
Oh, man,
no.
no.
We're kind of working
We're
from
going
there.
uphill.
Yeah.
All right. That's cool.
There'll be some softballs later. There we go.
Yeah.
That's cool. So this tune was inspired by, I have a photograph that a friend took of this very small green cabin, and it's like snow covered, it's tucked in the woods, and it's been hanging in my room for years. And I was just looking at it one day, and this song sort of flew out.
Huh.
It's funny because, you know, some of the ones that you feel like end up being your better songs are the ones that happen really quickly, and then ones that you work on for years are like, is this ever going to be right? You know?
That translates to a lot of things, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So this one's called 30 Miles.
Okay.
There's a picture hanging on the wall in my bedroom. A tiny little cabin tucked way back in the woods. I don't know the story of who's lived there. It's colored green like the trees it sits among. Oh, I don't want nothing fancy, 'cause I ain't fancy. A wood stove burning like the love I share with you. And I don't want nothing busy, it's been so busy. A quiet place 30 miles from town will do. I wonder about the life we'd build if we built it there. Backyard or trails to the mountains we call home. An acre full of rocks, stone line, and we can climb on. And a room full of books and paints for when it's raining. Oh, I don't want nothing fancy, 'cause I ain't fancy. A wood stove burning like the love I share with you. I don't want nothing busy, it's been so busy. A quiet place 30 miles from town will do. Maybe nobody's ever gonna hear this song. All along I've been looking for a stage to sing it on. Turns out I don't want a stage at all. I'd be happy there with a cold beer singing to you. Oh, I don't want nothing fancy, 'cause I ain't fancy. Wood stove burning like the love I share with you. And I don't want nothing busy, it's been so busy. A quiet place 30 miles from town will do. Just a quiet place 30 miles from town with you. Just a quiet place 30 miles from town with you.
That's nice.
Thank you.
Nice.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Wood stove burning like the love I share with you. That's nice. I
want to sound nice and cozy, you know?
Exactly. You know? Oh.
That was beautiful. I mean, like,
Thank you.
yeah, immediately. I mean, just taken by the vocals, like,
Thank you.
yeah. I mean, especially like with all these shows, you know, the acoustic way of playing is just so raw. You know, you can't make a whole lot of mistakes. Like, I'd be making mistakes every 5 seconds, but
You do make little mistakes, but you're like, just keep going.
Yeah, exactly. You know, There are very few out there that are going to know. You know?
Yeah.
Secret safe with us.
And then you just know in that moment, like, don't get in your head, girl. You gotta, like, stay on the track, right?
Yeah. Power through. You
get in our heads. That can be dangerous.
Oh,
I'm not giving our listeners a migraine.
Oh man. But, you know, that's just, it's cozy. That, you know, I mean,
thank you.
You hit that with that one there. You know, I'm sitting there and, you know, you talk about that picture and, you know, that little cabin out there, the snow, and like, you know, I'm
right?
like,
It doesn't snow.
I want a cup of cocoa and, you know, a hug now. You know?
It is very comforting, you know?
You know?
Charles, we can make that happen.
Exactly. You know, a little snickerdoodle, I'm good, you know? That would be awesome right now, you know? You just set that up perfectly.
Sunday vibes, man.
Exactly.
Sunday vibes,
you know, guys,
right?
let's just cut this now, and we can go someplace and find that right there. And, you know, we'll call it good. You know, sorry, folks, we're leaving.
Yeah.
You know?
So how exactly, I mean, I know it's hard to translate into words, I'm sure, but how did you get from that, I mean, you know, kind of image of that shelter, that green, what was it, a barn you said?
It's a cabin.
A cabin,
right?
yeah. From to that song, you were just kind of, it just flowed from there.
Yeah, I mean, I just imagined what, you know, life would look like from there, you know, and I think the lockdown obviously gave sort of a lot of perspective on the pace that everybody was keeping, and sort of, you know, you get going through the motions, and until somebody sometimes hits the pause button for you, like, we don't slow down naturally. I don't think, you know, at least me, I'm not great at that, right? Like, I always, like, 10 burners are on, and, you know, you're kind of, everybody's juggling a bunch of things, and I think it was just sort of homage to quieting down and slowing down, and, you know, it's like, at the end of the day, I just want, like, great people around me and a lot of love and good conversations, and I feel like that cabin sort of epitomized what, you know, I think long term, like a romantic version of what it all looks like, you know, where it's just a little
it's a musical. I mean, like, views like that are almost like you know, the more you try to put them to words in your head, you kind of takes away from the view or the power of, you know, what you were getting from the, you know, the inspiration you were having. You know, if you're almost trying to label it as it was going in, like, that's talk about like working on the song for several years or something, you know, that's like we're almost trying to analyze it too much and you know, stop ourselves from, like, you know, well, I'm writing a song right now. You know, writing a song is hard. You know, this is going to take me forever.
Totally.
Rather than just looking at a cabin and just having it happen.
And sometimes, you know, you know, I mean, songwriting doesn't. That's the anomaly, and that's about 5% of the time, right? Where you have these tunes that sort of just write themselves. You know, because I mean, for me, it's just like a matter of getting the picture in my head, and then I oftentimes, so different with 30 Miles was that I actually took the time to write the lyrics out and really focused on the you know, the word choice and everything like that. And I think that was, normally I kind of fiddle around with the guitar and, you know, and then I get like a melody idea, and then I'm like, what's the feel here, you know, instead of the other way around. But I feel like the words sort of wrote this, wrote themselves prior to.
So do you write, you know, melodically, or does the rhythm and the chords come to you most often? I
would say the rhythm and the chords come. You know, I do a lot of experimenting with guitar and sort of my style, and it's evolved over time. And I've always been, I've never played with a pick. It sounds like I've never picked. It's like when I play with a pick, I'm like, it feels like it sounds like I've never picked up this instrument before in my life. So, you know, just kind of getting used to different strumming patterns and rhythmic patterns, and, you know, it's easy to kind of get the same sort of routine of how you always write, so challenging yourself to, like, I better try something new. Yeah,
just like identify a habit and diverge from it, you know?
100%. So it keeps things interesting, you know.
Well, we'll keep reminding you, but giovaninabucci.com is where you can check her out, and I'll spell that for you too, listeners. I mean,
are you going to do a group spell?
I mean, if we have to, you know. As somebody whose name, you know, often gets mispronounced or misspelled, it's still, you know, it's kind of like you get it. Yeah, it just takes a little more attention, a little reminder. You know?
Here we go.
But so, I mean, it's a pleasure to have you in here, and
Thank
you know, first track went awesome. And what do you think think of playing now? I mean, something from the same album, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
because this was an album you worked on, particularly you were going to release in April 2020.
Yeah.
You know, and so much has happened since then. I mean,
No kidding.
did any songs survive? I guess since then.
Yes. So
Yeah.
so it's 9 tracks on the album, and six of the 9 survived, and then these three newer ones, right?
Gotcha.
30 Miles being one of them. I wrote a
Well, that
tune
was
for
awesome.
my mom. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's.
Thank
I could
you.
see. I'm sure that it was a good one that it swapped out to.
Yeah,
but-
I mean, I'm pretty stoked. I'm like, all right, everything has its silver lining, right?
Of course, yeah. If there's anything we
got to come back to that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'll play another one off the album. This was the first single I released on April 21st. It's a song called Go Easy.
Go Easy,
Yeah, and there's actually a video to this one. I opened an art gallery in Burlington in November, and there's a big time lapse of a mural piece that's called the Go Easy piece. It's like a pretty, like 8 feet by 10 or 12 feet,
cool.
something like that.
Yeah.
So the video to Go Easy is the painting of this mural. So if anybody wants another visual,
Yeah.
just bombard people with art and music. Be like,
Yeah.
man, like,
Yeah.
You'll get it eventually.
We'll get your
Please,
monthly
like,
dose
one.
all in one night. Yeah.
yeah.
It's a good balanced diet.
All right. You got a mind that moves 1,000,000 miles an hour. You smoke a pack a day. You knock back 6 to sleep. And 24 to waste away. Go easy. Go easy, baby, come back down. Go easy. Go easy, baby, come back down. Before it's too late. Time runs away like it always does. Do you mind if I say something before these words they burn my tongue? Ooh, go easy. Go easy, baby, come back down. Go easy, go easy, baby, come back down. And if you need somebody, I'm right here. And if you need somebody, I'm right here. And if you need somebody, if you need somebody, I don't want nothing to happen. I want you to stay. I want us to look back, knowing we got ourselves through every day. Go easy now. Go easy, baby, come back down. Go easy. Go easy, baby, come back down. Won't you come back down? Come back down. Go easy. Won't you come back down? Come back
Now, if people want to go easy and support this album, where's the best spot for them to go?
It is just released digitally at the moment, so anywhere you stream music, you can find it. And the album is called Storytellers, and so Spotify, iTunes, it's on YouTube. Yeah, yeah. So wherever you're sinking in.
And that's what you are as a musician, as storyteller. That's kind of. I mean, I've been told that is, one of the more important kind of qualities that a human being, just like throughout history, we've been telling stories,
Oh, always, yeah.
Just, that's how we kind of live our lives, is through story. What did you do today at work, or what happened to you? So you all have to formulate a story. It was always frustrating as a kid when you didn't have an interesting story, It's like nobody wanted to listen to anything you had to say unless you had a
it's frustrating as an
story.
adult. Sometimes I don't have interesting stories.
No. Gotta make one up, That's,
Totally.
Yeah. But I mean, that's a cool album title. I think it kind of hits with the whole vibe,
Yeah, that was one of the biggest things, working with Ryan and just workshopping these tunes and everything. He's such a profound songwriter, and I really look up to him, as a mentor and a songwriter and a musician. And I think he is just really phenomenal at writing a story. Rather, you can get kind of caught up in writing a catchy hook, or sort of the business side of music or something, or just even finding your stride in your voice, which at 22 or then 27 sounds different than 31, and life is happening, right? So it's been an interesting journey to sort of reflect on where the songwriting the process evolves with you, as a musician, and just with time and age and wisdom, as we were chatting about. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you're coming from a different bass line every time you're writing a song.
Yeah, definitely.
That perspectives change,
They do indeed. Yeah, a little more living, a little more life, and then you're like,
how's your perspective change, with this COVID thing, and now that we're getting back? Because, hopefully, you're starting to gig again. And we need to talk a little bit about Nina's Brew and, Mike and Isaac, most definitely. Because hopefully you guys are getting back out on the road and doing, what you're used to. Because, I'm looking at that, history of recent gigs. And, you guys play a lot of breweries and cideries. So, is this going to continue so that people can get a nice libation and be able to check this out?
That is the hope. So, the guys in Nina's Brew, it's Isaac French, Michael Brewster. We met in Burlington, and everybody has kind of diverged. So we're trying to do our best to play a weekend here and there. I don't think we'll be back on the road like we were playing. I mean, we probably played 250 shows in 2 years. We just were living out of my Toyota Camry, the three of us traveling. We had this thing on locked in, about to travel together.
That's what they're meant for. They go forever.
I mean, it made for some more good stories, but with everybody kind of, in separate places and having some other priorities, it's hopefully we can get together. We're hoping maybe every few months for a nice weekend of shows. We had a blast. We played in August, just a couple of weeks ago. We had a 3-show run, and that was the first time we'd played together since January of 2020.
Wow.
Yeah. So a full year and a half,
Talk about things change. Yeah.
Totally. I mean, it's nice to come back to the drawing table with those guys and not have the pressure of this is, Nina's Brew is the business, and we have to, be on the road a million days out of the year or whatever. And it's no, man, we're just going to show up for the weekend, play some gigs. And, it's beautiful. I certainly love playing solo, but there's just something untouchable about sharing musical moments with your with your friends, and you hit a harmony and you're like, oh God, I got goosebumps from head to toe,
That hasn't happened to me.
A little tingle.
Totally.
I gotta get a good jam session in. I just only, I told you, I only learned how to play past year or so. But I mean, that's something I'm looking forward to, is kind of getting together with a group and just getting into it.
Man, and the amazing thing is all the guys that I recorded this album with, Michael, Isaac. I mean, everybody is just musicians I really look up to, and I've learned so much from. It's finding your own confidence, of course, so that that you have a seat at the table, and also to really be open to to what everybody is bringing to the table, because there's so much to be learned. You know, this is just like an abyss, this thing.
It is. Yeah, we were talking about that.
And I dove in, and I'm like still trying to come up for air. I'm like, there's more, you know.
Yeah, she was telling me you just got something adjusted with it, right?
Yeah, I just got the action fixed, so my guitar is much happier, as are my fingers, my left hand. I was like, I feel like these things are climbing mountain, you know, like going to CrossFit every time I play my guitar with high action, you know, and I'm like, this is killing me. So anyway, we got it all souped up, we got it all sauced up, and now it's fun. It's really fun again.
It's now christened the studio with
awesome.
You know,
there we go.
with good music, you know. So
thank you.
Yeah. Well, Charles, what are you feeling now? I mean, did you what was I just going to say?
Well, you know.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be one. It could be a hard question, but the thing will be, you know.
All right, Charles.
We are always, you know, we like hearing covers from everybody at this point.
Okay.
And so, you know, we're thinking at this point.
We do have a faint interest in covers.
You know,
we do.
Just because we just like throwing that out there. You know, I mean, you know, we love the original stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know, this is that kind of, all right. You know, if they've listened to the
loves-
show, you know, the funny thing is we could be screwing this up for later.
That's true.
Because now if they're listening, they might not know that we're throwing in this curve. So we got to figure something else out.
Yeah, actually, you know what? And so, because anybody that now prepares by watching this show is going to know that we do covers.
We
Yeah,
do
it started as a spontaneous.
Just spontaneous happened to be.
Somebody was like, I played this one cover at a party one time, and I was like, oh, you want to play right
Let's
now?
do it now.
Yeah.
There you go.
So.
All right.
I mean,
So, put you on the spot. Here it is.
You are, but I can handle it. It's fine.
It could rope into this. It could rope into this. Last week, Max Flansburgh, I was telling you, one of his idols, Tom T. Hall, was a legendary country guy. He played a tribute to him who just passed away. I mean, did you have any idols or like influences when you were first starting to get playing?
Oh man,
so many, right?
That's a bucket.
Yeah.
It is full and it's always changing. But I will play you one of my. This is a John Prine and Bonnie Raitt tune, Angel from Montgomery. So that's one of my-
Nice.
that's all right.
Nice. My mom's gonna love this one.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll try and pay proper homage to this one.
No pressure at all.
Oh yeah, I don't feel it.
Homage gets paid in here, regardless. You know.
Yeah.
I'm an old woman named after my mother. Old man is another child grown old. If dreams of thunder, lightning, desire, this old house would have burned down a long time ago. You make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. You make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing that I can hold on to. Believing in this living is a hard way to go. When I was a young girl, I had me a cowboy. He wasn't much to look at, but a free rambling man. You see, that was a long time. No matter how hard I tried, the years they roll by like a broken down dam. And you make me an angel that flies from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Give me one thing that I can hold on to. Believing in this living is a hard way to go. There's flies in the kitchen, and I hear them and they're buzzing. And I ain't done nothing since I woke up today. Well, how the hell can a person go to work in the morning, come home I can hold on to. Believing in this living is a hard way to go. Believing in this living is a hard way to go.
There you go, Benny.
Yeah.
You know, once
Wow.
again.
So I guess our hard question just got melted.
Exactly. You
You
know?
know? That was beautiful.
was
Seriously, I mean, and it's not an
Thank
easy
you.
song to play or to there's a lot to that song that
Yeah,
you know.
John Prine. What a great writer.
Yeah, I mean,
True.
beautiful stuff. I'm just kind of on your Facebook page now. This looks like it's going to be fun. A free festival on Saranac Lake. You're going to be at in September.
Yeah, they're doing it right in the center of town there, and it's a free festival. I think there's 5 bands on Sunday, and I'm kicking things off with Michael Brewster. He's going to join me. Isaac's on his honeymoon, so
Wow.
yeah.
Nice. Well, if it's early enough, me and Charles might have time to catch it before the show. Yeah. It looks, hopefully, that it looks like it's going to be it's a beautiful venue too. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
pretty area up there.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. And they, those guys that own the water hole, so Eric and Kiki, they've just been, Eric plays in a band as well, and they're huge music supporters and really trying to do anything and everything, I think, to keep things, alive
Keep
and
it
zesty
alive.
while we have the opportunity to do
Yeah.
it, and we can be outside and,
like we said earlier, strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah,
and-
right?
And just
Sit right
yeah.
there.
good thing is with music, there's always a hot iron somewhere.
There
I
is,
mean,
right?
it's timeless, and it's like you said. I mean, it's when it's set aside from the stress of having to make a schedule and all this, and that we can just kind
Yeah.
of show up and play and make people's night. That's gotta
Totally.
feel nice,
It does feel nice. Yeah, it's been an interesting, like coming back from, I think like May was kind of really when I started picking up and playing some more shows, and you're like, do I still remember how to do this? Like, I need to find my confidence. Like, how do I set up my gear? Like, what's my order of ops? You're kind of like relearning all of
Learning
your
what to do, yeah.
routines that you kind of took for granted before that were like,
Yeah.
I got this down pat,
It's frustrating, right?
Yeah, I mean.
It's like your guitar saying, "You didn't pick me up for a while."
It's just like the performing in front of people is just requires a different energy that is amazing. It's just more of it. You're like, it's just different than being in your room and being frustrated, like, oh man, I can't figure out this thing or whatever. Like, it's a different level of you and your instrument. Whereas playing out live's like, all right, I got to kick into my 5th gear energy here after.
Yeah.
And chatting with people
got
and
people
doing the whole
here,
thing,
The
right?
whole presentation.
People came to see.
Yeah, and then afterwards, you're like, I'm wiped.
Yeah. Well, it's like a good alternative to exercise, I guess.
Yeah, right.
It's
different muscles, I guess.
Yeah. It's technically an exercise, but you're just, it's almost like running laps, but you're just setting up and talking to people. I mean,
Totally.
I mean, Charles, you're the mayor of Cortland, I mean, that's got to get. You know how exhausting it can be.
Don't start that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that might put you in the running. No, but I mean, it does get exhausting though, and it's a good exhausting. You have to exert energy to take good care of people. I think. I mean, I was a restaurant server for a long time, so I mean, it's just. You kind
of tap into like a different bottle of energy.
That's
You know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you're like, that's, like your extroverted land.
It's
where you're like-
it's a different tonic.
It is,
So to
yes,
say, at
that was
point,
poetic. Yeah, that's
you sit
nice.
there and you're like, okay, hold on. It's like you
I
got to
still got
flip
something.
that switch. All of a sudden, it's like,
100%, yeah.
Because if you're introverted, no, on
man.
stage, there's no place to do it.
Right? I know. It is kind of funny to find the balance again. I was like, I think the pandemic like sort of brought me a little closer to the middle and finding like the balance between I'm definitely a social, bubbly, very Italian person that's, clearly
Big
talking with my
dinners.
hands.
Yeah.
I keep noticing, I'm like, oh, this thing is firing
Sorry,
in my
I do it
left
too.
hand.
Usually I knock a microphone or a camera or something. You
It's a
know?
beautiful thing, though. You express it.
Right? Do the folks just listening on the radio can't see this thing
can't
flying
see it.
around?
They hear a pop once in a while. You know?
What's this bump? Yeah. That's why, gosh, check out the feeds because, Facebook, CNYmusicnow.com.
That's right.
You know,
yeah, we
they
stream
are all
these on
out there.
Facebook
We stream
Live.
it live, so, you know,
it's kind of a
see how silly we look while we're doing
Yeah,
this. That's the
exactly.
beauty. You know, the artists always look good, but Vinny and I
that's
can tell you,
nice.
you know.
Yeah, I'm in my Sunday evening.
Exactly.
I have my Sunday evening face on, which is basically my glasses and my
Same, man.
my
Yeah.
eyes that look like I'm about ready to go to sleep. Yeah, I feel like
We're
whenever
all
I wear
rolling
glasses,
in the
I look
same.
like,
Yeah, we all got our glasses
Your
on.
glasses on.
yeah,
Sunday
I kind of like
evening
it.
vibes.
Yeah,
It's good.
Sunday night specs.
Exactly.
You know?
You know?
Yeah.
This is the wind down.
Yeah, there we
We're
go.
all in
There we
wind
go.
down mode,
That's
man,
right,
you know.
yeah.
We got the energy for you all out there, as you can see, man. We're loving this. You know? This is a good way to end the week, so to say.
Yeah.
'Cause I always look at Sunday as the end of
Me
the
too.
week, you
Some
know?
people say it's
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
beginning.
it's no. You know?
No.
I know. I do feel like it's the end.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
I just want like 12 more hours in between Sunday and Monday.
Ugh.
Oh, that'd be
You know what I
awesome.
I
mean?
know.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, before we have to go and be responsible adults.
Yeah. Or at least pretend we are.
Pretend we are.
Like, what am I supposed to be showing up to tomorrow?
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Which
Mm.
hat do I need to put
which
on?
hat? Yeah,
Right?
there you go. You know?
I'd rather listen to
Is it
music.
showtime or okay?
I know.
Or do I
Like,
just kind of get to hide in the background?
yeah, exactly.
Well, let's hear something off the new album. Another one of those. Maybe another one of those three. That.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you were
that
talking about
that
one
you
for your
dug up.
mom.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
because Sundays I
hear
always
about
think about
this one.
moms. You know.
Uh-oh,
Oh,
we got the
yes.
capo out.
You know, and
Yeah.
and you guys being Italian, I got to figure, the cooking and all of that. You know, I know in my family,
We're talking
Sunday
about
and
the
moms, man.
Yeah, I know.
So shout out, love to the moms out there.
Absolutely,
you
yeah.
know.
Sure. Oh, man. My mom is Peach.
My mom's gonna be happy with that Bonnie Raitt tune
The
you
Bonnie
just
Raitt.
played
Oh,
with John
Awesome. All
Prine.
right.
Yeah.
I love making
was-
all the moms happy.
yes,
That's nice.
yes. You've made at least one happy. I'm sure plenty more.
So I wrote this song called Carry Me, and I'll give you a little context. My mom whistles Fly Me to the Moon just on repeat. She doesn't really realize that she's like constantly like, oh, her grandkids are like, oh, Mima's really cleaning. Like she's really in her element.
zone.
And and it's like the first verse and the first chorus, but then that's it. And it's just like the over and over and over again, right? So just to give you some. Fly me to the moon, she whistles the tune anytime the music has stopped. I put her in a bowl, cleaning the house, raking leaves and whatnot. Mother, if you make it to the moon, you take me with you. You carry me and I'll carry you. You carry me and I'll carry you. And if the day comes and you forget how it goes, don't worry, I'll sing it to you. In 36 years, there's so many lessons of taking notes. I learned the words too. And mother, if you make it to the moon, you take me with you. You carry me and I'll carry you. You carry me, I'll carry you. It's the only song I welcome on repeat. As long as you're whistling, you're here with me. I don't trust the clock to keep the beat. Tick tock, she's picking up speed. Mother, if you make it to the moon, you take me with you. You carry me and I'll carry you. You carry me, I'll carry you. You carry me and I'll carry you.
Giovanina, oh man.
Yeah.
you know, her lyrics and the way she weaves these things. I mean, you know, we were talking about storytelling, and I'm sitting here, close my eyes, and you know, the images just pop in. And
if you
know,
make it
she's
to the
singing
moon,
these.
bring me too.
You know, and I could see, you know, your Nana sitting there whistling and cleaning away, you know.
Yeah. Right, I know.
Oh,
very
put us right there, man.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a video. So my sister is a sign language interpreter. So there's a video of that as well, and I'm playing and she's interpreting. So that was a gift to her mom for Mother's Day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
so you got all the gadgets down, all that, you know, all the video. You got, you know, so I was looking through your Facebook too.
Trying to figure it out, man.
Yeah,
right?
you know, you're on top of things.
Like, how do I make this homemade video look cool?
Yeah, I got overflowing with home videos of embarrassing home video of me as a kid. You know? Yeah.
Things from the archives that you're like, does
That's
anyone
right.
still have
that?
No.
Yeah.
I kind of hope not.
Bury that deeper in the archives, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. That's, I mean, just beautiful stuff. I mean, so you got that album finally released. I mean, so you're just kind of, that's probably a big weight off your shoulders in a way that we're finally, you know, all this time later, finally were able to get that out to the world, and so now you're just chilling, right? Doing shows and
I'm doing shows. I'm working on some new writing. Honestly, this project was when we recorded it in September. We had a really great band put together of local musicians from the Burlington, Plattsburgh area, and we recorded most of the album live and went into the studio for like 4 days and spent 12 hours, and there was lots of snacks, and we just like cranked out this album, and it was really like the recording experience. I feel like I've always wanted, because I've wanted to be in the room doing it. You know, I obviously, like, traditionally, I've recorded traditionally and done, you know, track by track by track.
Yeah.
And
there's something to consider, Charles. Snacks.
Right?
For these Sunday night studio sessions.
Nice.
Snacks.
Yeah, you should have told me. I could have stopped and grabbed
outside
something.
the studio, obviously, but maybe a couple bowls of, you know, chips.
Don't mind the crunch, everyone.
Exactly, yeah. Tell us more about this album. Maybe that's a bad idea.
So it was a pretty special experience, and I feel like it sort of came at a time when, you know, September, like, everything was very low key. People were not really playing out much, and you know, for everybody to be able to come in and sit in the room together and just bring this music to life. I mean, I feel so grateful and fortunate. If I talk about it long enough, I could probably just come to tears, because it's really special, you know. And all these guys that were on the album, I just are huge. You know, they've been my guitar teachers and, you know, songwriting inspiration, and just really great players. So you're like, damn, I'm in the room, you know, and we're singing these.
You guys had a session, you know, like they talk about classically. You know?
Totally.
It's good to have people like that in your corner, you know.
Exactly. You know?
So cool.
And support, and the energy had to be just, you know.
Totally. I'm such a feeler player, you know. I don't have perfect rhythm, and my, you know, guitar playing is whatever it is, uniquely mine. But you know, when you're in it and everybody is in it, and the only goal is to just make this song a great song, that's untouchable, you know. It's like there's an energy there that is pretty hard to put into words, but it was there and palpable, you know. So it was really special.
That's what it is. It's all nonverbal, you know. And in the music, you just kind of like stop. Like, otherwise, you're in the room and you're trying to think of stuff to say to each other, even if it is music related.
Totally.
You know, oh, that sounds good, or turn that up, or turn that down. You know, until you start playing, get into it. Then everybody's just looking at each other playing, like, oh, this is good.
And then, and you know, it's like, and then you know when you got the take, and everybody's kind of quiet after.
You're quiet, exactly.
Like, guys, I think that was the one.
Producer drops the.
Totally. Drop everything. Slam guitars down.
Let's get snacks.
We're good.
Totally my style.
That's right. That's right. So I did promise to spell giovaninabucci.com, Giovanina. You cut it in short. Gio and then Vanina. That's probably the best way to do it. And then Bucci is just Bucci. It's not that bad. And this, we'll get this all posted too with the video when people watch it later. But for now, we got about 15 minutes left. I mean, you might as well get some more music.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Get some more music playing. I mean, I always feel bad continuing to ask them to play for us, Charles, you know, because, you know, we we don't play anything. You know?
No.
I'll play you all the
No, we
music,
play
guys.
the part of host, producer.
true.
You know,
Yeah.
we are, you know.
We've been making you laugh. We made you laugh a couple
Hopefully
times.
we help facilitate them getting the energy and
That's right.
doing what they do.
Yeah, we are part of
100%. There
that.
we go.
We are part of
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Exactly.
I have been told that too after actually by a listener who called in the following Monday, and he's like, "You always say that you and Charles don't do anything. You guys, you do a good job. You set it up nice."
And you make
Yeah.
you know, this is so comfortable, and that's half the battle.
That's big.
Sometimes
That's,
it's just
you know-
getting
Yeah.
comfortable and feeling like you can have a conversation with people. And
Yeah.
then
Well,
you're
when you
like,
start
we're
the
all
show-
just sitting in a living room, basically.
But,
Yeah.
You know.
that's what we've been striving for. You know,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
You've done
exactly.
good, guys.
You know,
You've
if we
done good.
could, if we could, we'd all be on couches right
Yeah.
now. But you
This
know,
is
because
nice
of the
for my-
technical aspects, you know, we kind of have to take that away. You know?
Yeah, this is nicer than my living room, honestly. I'm just kidding. Okay. All right, we'll stop talking now.
Oh no, you're good. This is great.
Okay, what are you feeling now?
I'm gonna
Yeah.
do a song called "Going, Going, Gone." This was another
Okay.
one that wrote itself very quickly. I had a friend who lost his dad very unexpectedly, and this song emerged out of the mom's perspective and what I thought. I could only imagine what she was going through, having just lost a husband unexpectedly, and then have kids that like live away that are, you know, just older and having their own lives too, and sort of, I don't know, it struck
It's a lot
me.
to
So
handle.
yeah. You've been gone for so long, time moves slow. Kids are all grown, and your mama's getting old. You got on that plane, never to come home. Going, going, gone. And the creases on my face have deepened over time, and the feet by my eyes just living in lines. Got on that plane, never to come home. Going, going, gone. I look different with age, a pulse in my chest, and the thickness of my skin is covering the ache it's been. It's covering the ache it's been. You've been gone for so long, I sink into a space right there next to me. Your face is plain as a day. It's plain as a day.
Yes, indeed,
Beautiful,
man.
yeah. Beautiful.
Vinny,
Thank
oh man.
It's another thing that's another example of how a moment that's tough to address with words or console somebody with something with something other than music.
Yeah.
I think that's a good purpose that music serves, is kind of translating emotions to into places that we can't talk about.
Absolutely. I think, obviously I've thought about this a lot, and just sort of what the most, poignant thing about playing music is. And I feel like it's just connecting us in a world that can feel really isolating sometimes, and really lonely and hard and sad. And And I think there's a lot of power in just not feeling alone in that. So, you know, it's like if somebody, you know, there's a ton of artists I listen to help me feel my feelings. You know what I mean? It's like they say it way better than I could articulate it. But you connect on this level of like, okay, well, this person's gone through this. So I know I'm not alone in sort of navigating tougher feelings or whatever. You know, it's just, we need it. I think, you know, it's like, oh man, what a beautiful thing about music.
And just even like the guitar too, it's and instruments, like when you hear just like the sequence that hits you or that you get goosebumps from, and like say you're going through a hard time, for some reason my dumb little brain thinks like, wow, the fact that sequence of sounds made me feel like that, like okay, that's not all like
physical reaction.
It just sort of like gets you past whatever you're down about, you know, which is a good thing.
I mean, helps you just sort of get out of your headspace. Like that can be messy in there.
Oh,
you know, it's
tell
like,
me about it.
If you can turn on a tune to help sort of trip up your thoughts, like your pervasive thoughts, and get you out of there and make you feel
consistently
something.
gives you hope. You know,
You know,
the beauty of music. It
like
can so easily give you hope. You know,
100%.
You're in a down spot and like, all right. All it takes is that tune, that riff. You know?
100%. Or if you're in a good spot and then you're like, like, you're feeling on top of the world.
Describe it?
I'm invincible.
It's like, it's only up from here, right?
How was last night's show, Ray Brothers?
It was
Barbecue?
incredible. One of my most favorite shows that I've played this summer. So we played. I opened for Ryan Montbleu this is the first time we've shared a bill, so that was pretty cool. Full circle of him producing the record and then being able to share it. He played solo, I played solo. I mean, really great crowd, and everybody was just so gracious and beautiful summer night where the humidity was not 150,000%.
It was nice.
The breeze was blowing. I'm like, this is nice. I'm not like, my hair was relatively under control. You know.
I know what you mean. But
you know what I'm saying, Charles.
Exactly.
You know the struggle.
I had to shave today because it was getting so bad. You know.
Yeah, the humidity kills you, Charles.
My dad's like, oh man, that humidity getting this head of hair.
I'm heading that direction. And earlier this month, you played in your hometown, Plattsburgh. That must kind of be cool every time you go back.
Yeah, it was, I've played a handful of shows in Plattsburgh, like, over the summer. Nina's Brew just played at Sable Brewing Company, which is about 15 or 20 minutes south of Plattsburgh, and that was a blast, like a little homecoming, where everybody was out and, with their families, and that was really special. It was our third show of that run, and feel like you kind of really lock some stuff in. And
by the third time's the charm.
Nice. Your home crowd.
There you go.
That's how you get built up. It's like they were the first ones there when we first started, and to be able to return, a handful of years later and still have the same sort of love. It was really special.
I always love those.
Feel really grateful
when everything
for
comes
that.
full circle,
Yeah,
it's awesome stuff. Well, we got about 5 minutes left. We always like to close with a song.
Yeah.
Do you usually have one you close with, or you want to just kind of?
It changes depending on the mood. But I'm going to close with a Nina's Brew tune. It's the title track off the album we released in November of 2019, and this song is called Mixtape.
Awesome.
And
nice.
I heard I was listening to a podcast, just to give you a little context. I was listening to a podcast, and DJs were talking about sort of the lost art of making a tape and going to hand it to another DJ, like, hey man, can you listen to this? And sort of you're missing that like face-to-face interaction in the conversation, and just that whole
getting by the
like
assistant,
experience, right?
That type of stuff.
Yeah, just like handing off a mixtape that you made, and sort of, and I was like, damn, I made so many mixtapes, and like, where you're like feverishly like record and play at the same time, and you're waiting for the song to come on the radio, and then you spend a day making all the cover art for it or whatever. So this song was inspired by that, listening to that podcast, and I was like, oh man, so true. So anyway, it's called Mixtape.
Awesome.
Had him sing all the things I couldn't say. Thought it might be a little bit easier. It's a really weird mix, so got some sure you know the one. Well, I made you a mixtape. Even made the artwork too, and I used a green Sharpie. I was trying to make it look cool. Hope you like number 9. Oh, got the word love in the title. It made me nervous to put it on there. But like I said, well, I made you a mixtape. Had him sing all the things I couldn't say, and I thought it might be a little bit easier. Made you a mixtape. Had him sing all the things I couldn't say, and I thought it might be a little bit easier. Let the music tell the story. Let the music explain it. They all say it so poetically. A little tune and some honesty. Well, I made you a mixtape. Had him sing all the things I couldn't say, and I thought it might be a little bit easier. Made you a mixtape. Had him sing all the things I couldn't say, and I thought it might be a little bit easier.
Yes, man. You know.
Good way to
Hey,
end
we
it.
got to bring back the mixtapes because you know that's so
I think
spot
so,
on.
too,
You
man.
know,
You know?
those things that are hard to say.
Oh, they
you know?
are hard to
I'm
say.
Back in the day, you know, see, I can see you
Like,
sitting
do I
there
put
doing the
Whit- do I
doodling,
put
that
Whitney
artwork.
Houston
you know?
first? That seems
exactly.
aggressive. I don't wanna come out the gate.
order, you know, that's it right there.
Totally.
The old
Think of all
mixtape.
those I
loving
used to
those.
make. Yeah, Vinny, you might be a little young for that, but you know.
No, I know about it. I mean, I know about it. I know about it.
You
Like,
know,
Yeah.
I've heard
I
of
haven't
cassettes.
done it, yeah.
Yeah,
But see,
I
you
do
haven't
remember
done that
having
work and
cassettes,
that
but-
pause button. You know, you
Oh,
said that, and I
man.
was just like,
Yeah.
man, I remember the days. So
Labor
what-
of love.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
That's it. See, I think we all got to get. You know, I'm going to start giving out flash drives to friends and say,
Yeah.
all right,
Floppy
you need to make
disks.
me a mixtape.
I
Here's a
mean,
flash
I think,
drive.
like,
Pop it
making
to
a
me.
playlist is
Yeah.
nice.
That's
it's
it.
convenient,
Yeah.
but it's
No,
not
you gotta-
quite as
not quite-
intensive as.
Exactly. You know, like you said, that artwork
Mixtape.
was part of it. You know,
Absolutely, absolutely.
and hoping they could figure out why the sequence was what it was.
Yeah, I know.
Just want to remind them one more time, giovaninabucci.com.
Yeah.
Giovanina, it's been a pleasure to have you in here.
Thank you so
Giovanina.
much
Yeah,
for
of
having
course.
me.
This was
I
awesome.
really
Thank you for
appreciate
sharing
it.
with us and you know, get to this album, Storytellers.
Yeah.
CNYmusicnow.com. We'll get everything linked
Awesome. Thank
to
you.
over there. You know, shout out to Chris Merkley, American Vintage Productions, Charlie
CNY
and
Music
Orlando
Now.
for booking all our artists. And Charles, we'll be doing this for several more months in the
Yes,
future.
indeed.
So we're looking forward to this.
Oh.
More of these Sunday night studio sessions
love
to
it.
come. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
you.
thanks for having me.
Awesome.
WXHC-FM, Homer, Cortland. Online at WXHC.com. With the app and on air at 1015. X101. Always classic.
ABC News Now, I'm Lionel Moise. Officials say a U.S. airstrike today took out a suspected vehicle